Well, hello YouTube. We are fixing to do a run from Dallas Harley-Davidson to in Grand Prairie to Kennedale, Texas. And normally they have about 100 bikes that do this. Not sure what happened today or why it's so low, but we have what we have. So yeah, all these cop cars, they're for our little group. So this ought to be quite interesting. But they're taking us all the way to Kennedale, Texas, which is probably a good 45-minute hour ride, something like that. So I just got my hand in the way. So yeah, they're using sirens and everything for this little trip. Whenever we get around traffic, they start blasting the siren. I don't think they're using it the whole way through. But so what this is, it's a run for the children of 9/11 terrorist attacks. Let's not forget those who perished on this day. And we're doing it on September 7th, since the 11th is in the middle of the week, and it's kind of hard to do it on that, so we're doing it the weekend prior to, because obviously we can't do it during the week. People work. And trying to coordinate with the sheriff's department to guide us is kind of rough. So we have the Dallas County Sheriff. They will be taking us all through Dallas County, and then when we get into Tarrant County, their department will take over from there. Now, like I said, normally they have anywhere from 50 to 100 bikes show up for this event. Not sure what happened, but we didn't end up with as many bikes this year. In fact, we ended up with well, quite a few less. So you know, it is what it is. We're still doing it for the cause. Doesn't matter whether we got 2 bikes or 20 bikes or 100 bikes. You know, this is for the children of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, those who lost family members, you know. So we're going to do our part here in Texas to honor them, because they deserve it. And it's for first responders and families. As we all know, well over 3,000 people paid with their lives because of that attack. And we can't forget about it, people. We cannot forget what happened on that day, and the innocent lives that were lost due to the stupidity of other people that don't want to like our country. Yes, our country has its flaws. I'll never say it doesn't. But it's not unlike any other country in the world that doesn't have their flaws, you know. So, you know, before 9/11, it was something that you always seen in other countries, in Europe and countries overseas. It never happened here at home. The day it happened here at home, it changed the world and our world forever. It will never be the same. I think anybody that supports the terrorists, well, I'll just leave it at that. I don't agree with them at all. I could say a lot of things negatively about them, but truth of the matter is, it's not gonna fix the problem. You know, I can call them names and say I wish they were dead or wish they, you know, get shot, all of that, or hung or whatever. But the truth is, it's not going to change things. For taking out one, there's always 5 more to take its place, and that's the bad part, is that there's always somebody else that feels like they do and want to be the martyr to do their dirty work. So anyways, I'm gonna sign off here before we get to this exchange up here, because we got to swap freeways, and I don't want to be talking when we're going through it, because this downtown traffic, and even though we have escort, can get pretty nasty. So we'll talk to you in a few. So the route we're taking, we just got off of Loop 12. We took 635 to 30. Took 30 out to Loop 12. And then we got off at off Loop 12 to come toward the National Cemetery, which is right here. It's the DFW National Cemetery. Now, I don't think we're actually pulling in there. I think we're just going by as a salute. A salute to them. Salute to the military that sacrifice their lives on a daily basis to keep this country and other countries free. And free from tyranny and oppression. Alright, welcome back. We're now on I-20 again. Well, I don't take it. I don't mean again. I don't know what I mean. So this should be the final freeway leg to where we're going. I'm trying to block my microphone from coughing into it, so I do apologize for that. I have water, but it's in my bag, and can't get to it. But I'm getting a dry throat from this dry weather. It's just a little dry today. It's not as humid as it normally is. Or at least it doesn't feel like it is. It feels a little dry. So, oh boy. I think this is where Tarrant County picks up and Dallas lets off. Yep. Saying goodbye to Dallas County and into Tarrant County. got control now for the final leg of our run. Like I said, damn. Dang it, dang it. Now I'm not sure what these guys are doing because there's no communication with us. They may be blocking this lane and trying to keep us in that lane, in the right lane. I don't know. I'm just following people in front of me, and whatever they do, I do. I would think normally they would keep us off the pass lane. And then straddle us and do dominoes, you know, jump in front of us. Block on it. I am really sorry, people. I don't mean to be coughing so much, but my throat is dry. I should have been prepared for this and kept my throat lozenges for riding weather in my pocket, and they're also in my bag. I don't know why I left them there, but I did. I don't know if anybody else can tell the difference in the sound of my bike, but I think it sounds different. I wonder why. I wonder if anybody can guess. Maybe fill me in on something I don't know. Or maybe I do know. Now I'm hoping that when we get where we're going, there'll be quite a few more bikes. We got a last minute call before we were leaving, maybe about 30 minutes before we were ready to leave. The lady that coordinated this got a call from Channel 5 News that they were going to be out there to greet us, which is really cool. You know, why not? I mean, it's for a good cause. We're all supposed to bring, you know, some stuffed animals, I guess, like small, medium, large, whatever. Oh, excuse me. I just bought 2 of them. You know, that way I'm doubled up a little bit. Normally my wife would be riding with me, you know, so I bought one to kind of take her place. You know, if she was on the bike, I would have bought one for her to give. I think the right way to do it is 1 per rider. You know, if you got a passenger, there should be 1 on there as well. So 2 per bike. It's not a bad deal considering the cause and who it's going to. So good deal. Tarrant County Sheriff's Department. catch you in a few. Welcome back to the place where motos are made. Yeah, I can't sing. Never said I could. I can't make up songs either. That's probably why I don't rap. Yeah, we're coming up to 287, which is in the Fort Worth area. That's right around Kennedale, or getting close anyway. And we still got a little ways to go, but it's a nice ride. I'll give them that. Nice ride. Even better when you got an escort, then you can keep all your guys together and make a nice ride of it. No cars interfering with you, cutting you off. They don't dare cut you off. That'd be a big old fat ticket. Interfering with a procession. A guarded procession at that. Funny thing is, everybody on the other side is slowing down to look to see what's going on. That's how it always happens. The last big procession that I was in was in 2011. They did the Run for the Wall. Now it started in Southern California, but I picked it up in here in Texas, in a town called Grand Prairie, right on this very freeway here. And but yeah, it was kind of cool. I got down there real early in the morning when they rolled in. It was going to be one of their stops for the day. So they rolled in, and I was there, and we made the meet and greet. Had a ride meeting for those who were just getting on board the ride. And then we headed out. I think by the time we ended up at Arlington Cemetery, I think we stretched about 3.5 miles long. And I'm kind of guessing at that, but yeah, it was long. Let me just say that. It might have been 2 miles. I don't know, but it was a long line. And we would get overpasses like what's coming up here, only except it wasn't a highway. It was just like a regular street. I mean, sometimes out in the middle of nowhere, where you look on either side of you, and there's no towns, no houses, you know, maybe a barn or two, sometimes not even that. And there'd be like people standing up on the bridges with American flags and saluting us and waving at us. And I mean, not just 1 or 2 people. Sometimes it was really 1 or 2, but the majority of the time it was either, you know, anywhere from 8 to 10 to 20 people, you know, just depending. Now the bigger cities obviously had 20 people, but the smaller areas, like, you know, between 5 and 10 people. And we're talking in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's like, where did they come from? And how did they know? You know, I mean, that's the thing, is you don't understand how they knew what was going on. So anyway, we stretched about 3.5 miles long, and give or take a mile there, and we would have highway patrol escort from each state, right? And they would block off all the freeway on-ramps. I mean, they literally shut the freeway down. It wasn't like this where cars were driving by us. They shut the freeway down for any cars coming on. They had cars behind us, you know, and then patrol units on each of the on-ramps that we were coming up to, blocking off the on-ramps, right? And then we had one cop, our highway patrol unit, in front of us, leading us down the road. And as soon as we hit the next state line, they would peel off and the next state would pick it up. And we did that all the way to Washington, D.C. Well, at least, yeah, the Arlington area. Once we got to Arlington, that was a whole different ball game. I don't remember, because this is back in 2011, so I don't remember if the Highway Patrol took care of us all the way from Arlington Cemetery to where our hotels were in Washington, or in that area. But anyways, the cool thing about that is that only those who had never done the run before, were allowed to go on the run. What are you doing? Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Yep, back in line again. Oh, burger smells good now. Oh, where was I? Oh, wait, yeah. So only those who had never been to Arlington Cemetery before were allowed to ride their bikes into Arlington Cemetery. No other group other than Run for the Wall can do that. No other group that I'm aware of. That's what I was told. No other group is allowed to do it. They've been doing it for 30 years. I think I went on the 25th anniversary of their run, which was 2011. I think that's what it was. So whatever the time frame is from 2011, I'm not going to count right now. But almost 10 years or 15 years. But anyways, long time. Yeah. I'd like to go on it again one day. We'll see. Anyways, I'm going to cut us out for right now, and we'll catch up to you when we arrive at the park.
Sue, God bless you. Thank you for doing this every year. Thank you for all of you that are military veterans. Raise your hand if you're a military veteran. You know what? God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. These young men, great job. Matt, you're right. We have young men like this. Our nation's in secure hands. But I wanted to take you back when we, the origination of this, and it was 2001, September the 11th. And I remember as I was watching the TV, as I saw one plane going into a tower and then another one. And when the second one hit, I knew, just like a number of other people knew, that we were at war. And I think what's important is, first of all, we remember, that what went on that day, and never forget it. We must always remember that this nation is under assault. And it's under assault from people from without, and it's under assault from people from within. And so I think it's important that we reflect back on those times, because I'm sure you were, those of you who were here that day, remember what happened right after. And that was store after store running out of American flags.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Because everybody was going down and getting a flag to put on their car. And we all drove around with American flags on our car. Because we had said, you know what? You might have struck first, but you're not going to strike last. We will. And as George Bush said, we've heard from you. Tomorrow you're going to hear from us. And so I think it's important that, first of all, we reflect on that. Remember that we have an enemy. And I think it's also important to remember that there's a good documentary I'll tell people to be sure and watch. And it was a documentary called The Third Jihad by Zuhdi Jasser. Now, Zuhdi Jasser is an American Muslim. He served in the U.S. military, but he wanted to warn America in this documentary. And what he wanted to warn Americans about was, look, there's three types of Muslims in America. First, there's the ones that love America. They don't want to change a thing about it. They're here to enjoy the same freedoms that everybody else does. But he said there's two other types that I want to warn you about. The first type, of course, would be the Osama bin Laden types that everybody be aware of. But he said, I also want you to be aware of there's another type. It's called the Muslim Brotherhood. And unlike the Osama bin Laden types who want to use terror and want to use destruction to gain power, he said the third type under the Muslim Brotherhood, they want to use a different means. And basically what they want to do is they want to form groups of like-minded people and eventually have America subservient to what we call Sharia law. We need to understand what that is, and we need to understand who our enemy is. The other thing is this, that we also, in order to defend America, we need to go back and study the real principles that founded America. Because here it is in a nutshell. One of the things that David McCullough, the famous historian, has warned us about is we have raised a generation of young people that are basically functional illiterates when it comes to American history. And that is why we can have people graduated from college today who embrace socialism. You know why? Because they don't understand the greatness of America. All they've done is they've gone through and they've been peppered with myths and falsehoods and propaganda. Because here it is in a nutshell. America was founded upon the principles of God-given rights, and that the greatest amount of freedom can be open to us because we are the government of the people, by the people, for the people. And in essence, we have the right and the responsibility to select our leaders. But in order to do so, we must select wisely. We must look at the principles that have made us the greatest country in the world and say, those are the kind of leaders that we want to embrace and we want to select. And so when we do that, what we need to do is remember that A, we need to remember why we're here today. B, we need to remember what are the principles that this nation has been fighting for since 1776. And in order to continue those freedoms and liberties, we must understand what those freedoms are, where they came from, their God-given rights, and that in essence, that we're here. In fact, if you look at the Declaration of Independence, it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that we're endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But here's what I want you to remember next. And for this cause, governments were instituted among men to secure God-given rights. That's the purpose of government, is to make sure that we've secured the rights that have been given to us by Almighty God. And that if we'll continue down that pathway, we will continue to be the greatest country in the world. And we will also continue to be a blessing to the world. Because you know what? If you look at all the things, the improvements in the world and things like that, much of it has been driven by what has happened here in America. And so what I want you to do is encourage you to stay steadfast.
it.